Let's go to this slide. First, before the games, the Paris Olympic budget went up from 620 million euros to 1.1 billion euros. That is almost 80% overall. Only cleaning the Seine River cost 114 million euros. France base rates reached 3.16 trillion euros. That is 111% of its GDP, which is over the EU's limit. So the game's opening days, the EU started and defecated Bruce against France. But the preparation would create 19,000 jobs, like in hotel and earthing. Now during the game, it helped Q3 GDP grew interest 0.3%. The growth mainly came from tickets and boarding case ride. Paris had 34% more tourists, 15.3 million in total. That was good for transport, hotel, and food service. But the hotel became more expensive, and there was security problem. So some people canceled their trip. Air Force, Air Force, KLM lost 118 million euros between June and August. So this is Olympic growth will only happen once. Q4 growth will go down. So that's all my part.
From the October to December 2024, the one-off benefits brought by the French Olympics gradually faded, and the French economy contracted by 0.1% in the fourth quarter. The consumption and service activities that were stimulated by the Olympics returned to normal levels. And in the early 2025, the hotel occupancy rate in Paris was 7% higher than that in the same period in 2024. And it increased by another 4% in February. And this is clearly shows that the return of tourists after the Paris Olympics has brought sustained benefits to the tourism industry.
Now, let's talk about sport venues. In 1900, France hosted the Olympics for the first time. Most venues already exist, with just one new venue for shooting and a few temporary ones for fencing and horse riding. So there was no main stadium. And by 1924, they built a large stadium with 45,000 capacity for ceremonies, a modern 50-meter swimming pool, and an indoor arena for boxing. The first Olympic village was also introduced. And last, in 2024, the focus is on sustainability. Most venues are reused or temporary, but there is a new aquatic center and an 8,000-seat indoor arena, designed to be used after the games.
The second aspect is transportation. In the 90s, the Paris Metro is built. It's one of the world's oldest and busiest subway system inspired by the London Tube. The first metro line started operating in the 90s and there are more than 10 lines. In 1924, some athletes decided to board on ships, especially from foreign countries with long journeys. They used local public transportation to get to competition venues. In 2024, public transport is still the main choice to go from places to places. Governments also provided shuttle buses and minibuses. Apart from that, a Paris 2024 transport app is launched to help navigate during the games. The third aspect is accommodation. In the 90s, there is no official Olympic village. Athletes can either choose to live in hotels or arrange their own lodging. The first Olympic village was built in 1924. There are simple wooden cabins with basic facilities. In 2024, athletes and visitors have many options to choose to live, whether in the modern Olympic village, hotels, apartments, and Airbnb. The village will be converted into housing after the games. Overall, from the 90s to 2024, we can see a clear evolution from simple venues and absence of stadium to absence of village to professional stadiums and swimming pools, and developed to modern, sustainable, and reusable facilities.
Now we will present the impact on global image.
The 1900 Olympics were held together with the World Expo, so the game were actually overshadowed. There were no real opening or closing ceremonies, and many events were even called Olympic at that time. Even though the game themselves had a small impact, the World Expo helped France present itself as a culture, artistic, and technologically advanced country. So overall, 1900 still strengthened France's image, just not mainly through sport.
Okay, in 1924, things were completely different. The time was to show the world that the country had recovered and was modernizing. The game involved 44 countries and over 3,000 athletes. It was also the first time the motto faster, higher, stronger was used, and the first time athletes lived together in the Olympic Village. Culturally, the Games send a strong message of peace, unity, and international friendship, helping rebuild France's global image as a stable and optimistic nation.
And lastly, for the 2024 Olympic, France focused on sustainability and innovation. About 80 to 95% of the venues were reused, which reduced environmental and economic impact. The game also highlighted France's cultural soft power through creative ceremonies and promoted inclusivity and gender equality. With advanced security and digital technology, France presented itself as a modern, forward-thinking country.
I will present the economic impact of the Olympic on France in the two parts. And the first part is a short-term economic boost. And first is the increase in the French's GDP. For example, the Paris 2024 Olympic Games generated an estimated 0.3 percentage point increase in French's GDP. And second one is ticket and broadcasting revenue. Accounted for 9.7 million tickets sold. And third is tourist consumption surge, which means when some foreigner go to the franchise to visit Olympic Games, they will consumption in the franchise that can increase the franchise GDP. And the second part is long-term economic opportunities. And first is between the 2080 and the 2034. The games are expected to contribute 6.7 to 11.1 billion to the French's regional economy. A second is long-term benefit is the French government will upgrade the infrastructure to ensure the smooth conduct of the Olympic Games. And third one is the event generated 90,000 to 150,000 jobs, where professional training programs supported 30,000 individuals, strengthening the regional human capital development.
Okay, I will share the part of social impact. The first big part is sports participation and public health promotion. The government provided free swimming lesson in school for children. And also, they invite 500 local sports structures and 275 new swimming pools, aiming to reduce regional disparities in facility access and promoting social cohesion. In addition, Olympic sales activity engaged millions of young people. And second, inclusiveness and social equity. We can say Paris 2024 became the first full gender equal Olympic Games, achieving parity in athletes quotas, volunteer representation, and ceremonial roles. Also, the introduction of the mass marathon broadened citizen participation by enabling the public to compete on the same course as Olympic athletes under equal conditions.
Hello everyone, I will be presenting the impact of hosting the Olympic Games in France. So France hosted the Olympics and created a strong long-term benefits for the entire nation. The events improved the four major areas, which is sports facilities, and then participation and athlete development and national sports culture. The government also upgraded national sports centers such as swimming and athletics complexes, and more community sports spaces were built, including new public gyms and outdoor courts, and also many stadiums continue to host major football and rugby for all the athletics events. This is for keeping the Olympic legacy of France alive.
So, hosting the Olympics also boosted para sports in France. Facilities became more accessible with wheelchair ramps and adapted equipment. More training programs were created for para-athletes, and awareness grew through inclusive school sports days. Lastly, the Games strengthened the national sports culture. More families attended sporting events, and healthy lifestyles became more popular, such as cycling and exercising in parks. The French people also felt a stronger sense of national pride, with Olympians becoming role models for the younger generation. In summary, hosting the Olympics brought better facilities, higher participation, stronger athlete development, rapid growth in para sports, and a more vibrant sports culture across France.